Good morning, Spartans. Welcome back to another tutorial. This one again is brought to you early in the morning. As you can see up here, 5 a.m. So we started this last week before our 3-day Labor Day weekend. Hope it was a good one. Let's go ahead and copy this photo. This is our concept logo practice. We're going to go ahead and control click, copy image. Go into Photoshop and do Command N, type in concept logo practice. Don't forget, clipboard means that you have copied something and you should be ready to paste that copied image. So we have a preset size, we don't touch this. Okay, and just make sure it says RGB color. Click OK. And we're going to click, or we're going to do the Command V option, which means paste. And then, of course, we're going to take our layers palette, make sure it's open. Notice the layer with that bunny photo. Okay, now we're going to use a new tool called the Quick Selection tool. Letter W hotkey. And the magic wand is also part of the tool, but we will use the quick selection tool. Okay, now it acts like a brush, and if you locate the keys next to the letter P, you'll see the right and left bracket. The right one makes it larger, the left one makes it smaller. Now I'm going to take my navigation tool, or rather palette, and I'm going to zoom in. Okay, because you want to be somewhat close, you can get an accurate display. So what I'm doing is single clicking my mouse, and I will get an appearance that looks like a dashed line surrounding the object, in this case the jackrabbit. We call this in Photoshop, we call this marching ants, which I think makes a lot of sense. Now you see what I did? I made my brush smaller, and so I'm going to go ahead and click it some more. Now there might be a chance that you click outside of the bunny, as I'm purposely doing. You notice that? Now, I don't want that selected, I just want the bunny rabbit. So I'm going to hold down Option. Option will give me a minus sign. If you look at the cursor, you see the minus sign. So I'm going to click once, and that will subtract this selection. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and complete the rest of this. And don't forget to zoom in, check the progress, make sure the ants are selected properly. And let's see, I'm going to try to get rid of this extra here. That's not doing it. Let's see. Selection edges, I need to see those. But then I don't want to see the grid here. So there we go. Okay. Let me zoom out now. And go to this portion of the bunny. There we go. Alright. Now the way this works, the quick selection tool, as well as the magic wand, is it wants to find pixels of the same color and the same value, the lightness and darkness of that color. And so what it does is it will select those pixels. Now the background has very similar color as the bunny, right? The bunny needs that similar fur color so that it can hide from its predators, right? So it has that camouflage look. Anyway, what I need to do is clean up my edges very carefully. Just click along the ants, and I should have no problem finishing this up. So take your time, do it right, and you'll have a good result in the end. Okay? These type of things take time. Alright, I think that's good. Oh, you see what I missed right here? Okay, very good. And maybe right on the edge of the foot. Okay. I'm going to zoom out, do Command 0. Now, once you have your selection, the next step is Command Shift with your left hand and hit the letter J with your right. And if you look at the Layers palette, you can see that I extracted that bunny. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of the background, and you can see what I have here. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and click and drag layer 1 into the trash can. I don't need that anymore. Alright, so now that I have my layer with just the bunny, I'm going to go ahead and reselect it. Now if it's already deselected, using the Command D function, you can reselect it by holding down Control and clicking this small little squared picture here, also known as a thumbnail. So I'm going to Control click and select pixels. Okay. Now if you have a PC, you can just use your mouse and Control click it that way. Alright, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm not sure if that portion of the ear is supposed to be selected, so I don't know, is that the background or is that part of his ear? I think that's the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply do Command D to deselect the ants, and I'm just going to select this little portion right here. So if you have the same thing going on, do what I'm doing. First deselect the ants by doing Command D, and then reselect just this portion. I'm going to hit delete. Okay? Alright, now I'm going to do Command D, and it seemed to be okay. Yeah, okay. I might have to take my eraser now and clean that edge up. Right, like that. Be really careful. Really don't want to use the eraser if you can help it. Alright, I'm going to reselect that, Control click, select pixels. There I have it again. Selected the bunny. Now, I'm going to go over to the Path palette. If you don't have the Path palette, go to Window and go to Paths. Okay, so here's the Path palette right here. And let's see if I can get this going here. Let me open that up again. Oops, there it is. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so we're going to make a work path from selection. Everybody see that? That center one. Okay, once you do that, you will see that little bunny shape. Now I'm going to make that panel larger so you can see it better. Alright, so you see that bunny shape? As soon as you do that, you can come in here and fill path with foreground color. Now it all depends on what color you have, but it doesn't matter right now. You can just click that and you'll get the color. Whatever the color is on that foreground in the tools palette or the toolbar. I have this purpley color. Okay? Okay, once you get that, you can go back into your layers palette. And mine's hidden down here. And what you might notice is the path still exists. But you can delete it by hitting the delete key. It's that simple. And then I'm going to zoom out. So I'm going to do Command minus. And you can move this. It's a shape now. So you can move it anywhere you want. You can resize it by doing Command T. Hold down the Shift key and drag a corner. Okay? What you don't want to do is drag the sides. That will distort your bunny. Okay? So once again, hold down Shift and drag a corner. Okay, you notice the bunny is resizing proportionately. Okay, let go of your mouse click first and then hit return to apply. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a concept. It's an idea. Okay, and as I've shown, this is a jackrabbit, and so I feel as though fast demonstrates what this bunny is all about. Okay? And so what you're going to do, I don't want that J in there. I guess I accidentally hit J for jackrabbit. What you're going to do is you're going to type out a word, and you're going to incorporate that word with your image. And again, the word is a concept. Okay? And we've done a couple typography projects, so you know that you can take the character palette, find a real good font that works with your image, anything you want, and I think I'm going to take or find a script type of font. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and stretch that out. Okay. And make it a little bit bold. So you're going to do a couple of things, number of things, whatever you want. So I'm going to be back and show you what I have. I'll be right back. Okay, so the last thing I did was I changed the font. I have Poplar Standard. I did Command T and I used the skew option. Brought that word a little bit slanted. Just adds to the effect. I'm going to overlap it slightly. Hit return to apply. I'm going to use a color that contrasts with that purple. And then finally, I'm going to come into my background layer and I'm going to use a gradient. Letter G on the keyboard. My gradient's hidden by the paint bucket. There it is. Let's see what we got here. That actually works. I'm going to make a couple of layer styles here. I'll just go with my standard drop shadow. I like that. Click OK. You can also put a layer styles on your bunny. But we don't want to overdo it. I don't want to put texture. I don't want to put anything that's going to take away from the effect. I'm going to take off bevel and emboss. Actually, bevel and emboss looks good to me. And then, let's see, try different contour. There we go. Anti-alias. That just means there's less pixels. I'm going to click OK. And I can even add a few linear elements. Okay. This is a line. And let's see. Make that yellow as well. Click OK.